Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me for today's video. This is a draft video for the Cowboys. It's basically going to be a companion video for tomorrow's wild card preview with the 49ers. And we're going to take a look at a bunch of prospects, 20 in total. All right. Good prospects that I've studied throughout the season that I really like and that I think that can help the Cowboys. So we're going to go over some draft needs, some early draft prospects for everybody to look at. Additionally, we got some great news today. Will McClay extended his contract with the Cowboys, so just in time. All right, just in time. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into the boardroom here with the guys, and we're gonna make this pick here, and give you guys some information on what guys to look for in the upcoming Senior Bowl and the draft process. So who will the Cowboys pick with the first pick? Will it be one of these guys we're gonna talk about today? Let's jump right into it, guys. Here we go. All right, first off, guys, offensive line I think is going to be the top need for the Cowboys. We're going to find out what the Cowboys look like in the playoffs. If they don't look quite as good and we're having that continuous shuffling of players in and out, I think you're going to look at offensive line. And with that, Kenyon Green I think is going to be a candidate here for the Cowboys. I think guard is going to be a spot where the Cowboys will get the best player available over the tackles in this year's draft class. So Kenyon Green, 6'4", 325 pounds, a pure mauling machine in the run, can take on double teams, a pure mauler, bro. I really like Kenyon Green. Guys, check him out, all right? Next, I have tackle Zion Johnson, but I think he's going to translate as a guard at the NFL level. 6'3", 335 pounds, a bigger guy, plays with a lot of power, but he can pull. He can, be athletic when he needs in the run game, plays the run support really well, doesn't give up any sacks, has long arms to keep the defenders away, can take on the double teams, really good at recognizing stunt plays and this sort of thing. So another great player. Could have came out last year, would have been a high pick in last year's draft. He stayed another season at Boston College. Keep him on the radar for the Cowboys, Zion Johnson. Another O lineman that I really like in this class is going to be Sean Ryan out of UCLA. Also another tackle OG type of player, gives you that flexibility. Cowboys will have him on the radar. Cowboys like the UCLA program, especially Mike McCarthy. He likes that program a lot. And with a need here on the offensive line, Sean Ryan could be thrown into the mix and give us an upgrade at that guard position. All right, played 31 games there at UCLA. High potent offense. You got to be in shape to run in that offense, and he is that durable and can play both positions, like I said. So look for him as a Cowboys possible target. Moving over to the next need I think the Cowboys will have this year is going to be linebacker. Let's see what happens in the playoffs here with the Cowboys with Leighton Vander Esch. How are they going to keep using, Michael Parsons moving forward more as a pass rusher, or are they going to keep him in the linebacker role? Either way, I think if you add Nakobe Dean in this, you're throwing another lion into the lion's den, and that's something that you want to have. He has these Roquan Smith type of skill sets, traits that translate really well into the NFL as a very consistent linebacker that makes a lot of plays on the ball. And I think this is a player the Cowboys would like to have. Now, will he be available in the back half of the NFL draft? It's going to be close. I'm not so sure. His draft stock may go through the roof with the combine. So he is somebody that I like. I don't know if he'll be in the Cowboys range, but keep an eye on him. My number 2 linebacker that I really like in this draft is going to be Brandon Smith. I know some people are falling in name with the name Devin Lloyd, and we'll get to him, but I have Brandon Smith over him. Really like this player. Played, a lot of football there for Penn State. LBU, all right. Line them up there with Michael Parsons. These two guys work great as a tandem. And, if you need another linebacker, which I think the Cowboys are going to need, I know we're going to have Jabril Cox, but you're going to need another player to replace some of the guys that are going to be leaving in free agency. Brandon Smith, another young lion as well. Put him in the mix, and we're going to be tackling people left and right all day long. Keep an eye on Brandon Smith, guys. Okay, like I just mentioned, Devin Lloyd, I have him behind Brandon Smith, and this is just my personal opinion, but I still like him a lot, Devin Lloyd. Now, I think he will be in that range for the Cowboys, so he might be available. He's a little bit slower of a linebacker, though. He doesn't have that speed, and I think that what the Cowboys want to keep adding is speed to this defense. That's why I kind of have him lower in this in my little initial rankings here of players that I've been watching this season. But Devin Lloyd, definitely a playmaker. Really plays really well in the box, line of scrimmage. He bats down a lot of balls. He gets in the scrum. He can sack the quarterback. interceptions and this sort of thing, and he can even go down the field, but not the fastest player, but still he makes up, you know, that speed. His long range speed is not bad at all. All right. All right, guys, real quick, just to mention, as we're going through this list of players, these are not my first round picks. These are all these guys I'm talking about today will go anywhere from our late first round, you know, to the 5th round. So these guys can be taken anywhere from the 1st to 5th round. Obviously, some of these guys will be, you know, your early picks. So with that being said, Key Walker here out of Georgia, linebacker, more of a rotational player there with Georgia, not an every down linebacker, but very impactful, a big piece of that Georgia defense, and I think giving him a starter position or even a, you know, rotational position in our team with the Cowboys, I think he'll play a pivotal role. You know, this is somebody that can get after the quarterback. We saw that at Georgia. Has great instincts on the ball, solid tackler. Like I said, has the length, has long arms, and can get after it. So I like him. I think giving him starter reps at the next level, he's really going to shine. So keep an eye on Key Walker. All right. Another linebacker here that I really like, who I think is going to fly under the radar until the pundits catch up with the draft coverage here. Carson Wells, linebacker. He reminds me of a Holcomb / Pete Warner type of linebacker. This guy's going to be solid at the next level. Just a tackling machine, solid, durable, plays the defense well, and really, you know, plays the run well. You know what I mean? Has good speed, can get to the running back, and he also has pass rushing moves. So this guy's very versatile, can play all 3 positions at the linebacker position as well. You know, some people may even want to kick him out to safety. You'll hear that talk, you know, just like they did with Pete Warner. He's this kind of guy, and I like him a lot. Keep an eye on Carson Wells, excuse me. Check him out. All right. The next need for the Cowboys, I think, is going to be defensive end, defensive line. Jermaine Johnson is my number 1 pass rusher. You know, I know there's guys that are going to go earlier. You know, I'm not counting the Thibodeaux of the world and Aiden Hutchinson, because those guys are not going to be at our pick. So the guys I'm talking about are going to be the guys that we have potential to get. Jermaine Johnson is going to be my guy. All right. Jermaine Johnson, transfer from Georgia. He lit it up, bro. He lit it the hell up. 12 sacks. You know, he gets after the quarterback. He has bend. He's got some really good moves. He's got an inside move. He's got a spin move. He's got, you know, a lot of power. He's got a bull rush move. This guy is going to be something, man. A lot of people aren't talking about him yet, but it's going to happen here really soon. So let's see how his numbers look at the combine. His draft stock is going to shoot up immensely, but hopefully keep him under the radar, keep him there in the Cowboys range, and we steal him. All right. All right, guys. Cameron Thomas out of San Diego State. This is a guy that I covered in my first mock draft via Dane Brugler. And, you know, very, very solid player. You know, plays the run well, can get after the quarterback, has good production. And I think he's a player that's going to really shine here in the back half of the NFL draft. But could go up, man. Could go out of the range of the Cowboys, but he might be one of those guys that's there for the Cowboys. If you missed my video on him, go back and check that out. I'll have a link at the end of this video on his profile. But keep an eye on that guy there. Trayvon Walker, the defensive end out of Georgia. And this guy, again, I think he'll be available in the back half of the draft. You know, I would say in the 20s or possibly with the Cowboys draft. You know, we'll see. But I like how he plays defense. This guy gets after it. It's got the motor. It's got the long arms and traits. Man, that's the important thing. He's got NFL traits. And, you know, it's going to be a need for the Cowboys, you know. Whether we keep DeMarcus Lawrence, you know, he's getting up in age. Randy Gregory's up in age. And you know, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of tread, but the age is still there. All right, 29 and 30, that's still a relevant number, okay? So we got to get a little bit younger there off the edge, and I think that might happen in this draft. All right, so keep an eye on Trayvon Walker. Instant upgrade over the guys that we have in rotation for sure, and could break into a starter role. All right. This is my first behemoth of the video, and that's going to be Devontae Wyatt. Obviously, there's others that'll go ahead of him, like the Marvin Leal out of A&M, but I don't think he'll reach us. But Devontae Wyatt might be there for the Cowboys. Now, will they take him in the first? Is he a first-round prospect, first of all? I don't know if he is a first-round prospect, but Definitely, this is a guy that the Cowboys could throw in the mix. He's another trash can size player. Gives you a lot of size, plays the run really well. Powerful player. All right. Well conditioned. You saw him in the championship game, just nonstop. Nonstop. Full 4 quarters of action. Just wait until he gets into the NFL program. He's just going to be a beast for somebody. Hopefully, it'll be the Cowboys. All right. Next thing for the Cowboys, I think, is going to be wide receiver. Michael Gallup, I don't think they'll bring him back. Cedric Wilson, that's a good story, yeah. But, and Amari Cooper, they're going to start adding more into the barrel. Like I said, Mike McCarthy likes to have guys in waiting. Yeah, we do have Malik Turner, but, eventually he's going to start drafting guys at wide receiver. Traylon Burks, I think he's a first-round talent. He could be one that goes in the first round. Would the Cowboys dare draft another receiver in the first round? I don't know. And I don't know if that he'll even last where the Cowboys will be drafting. 6'3", 225, can play all the positions, X, Y, Z. He's one of these guys that can play in the backfield. That's what the hot thing here in the NFL now. Wide receivers that can come out of the backfield, can play physical, possession receiver. He's the yak guy. Very, very good player, Traylon Burks. Okay, David Bell, wide receiver out of Purdue. I think this guy could go anywhere from the second round. I have him as a second round guy. Could he get in at the end of the first round? Maybe, but I think he's more of a second round player. 6'2", 205, very athletic, physical. He high points the ball really well. He's another yak receiver, physical. He's a willing blocker. You'll see him in run support. So, if you want to replace somebody like a Michael Gallup, this is almost like a Michael Gallup, okay? David Bell. So keep an eye on him. A lot of players, a lot of teams will be looking at him in this draft. Let's see if the Cowboys take a look at him. I'm a fan of Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. This guy plays really good in coverage, really good at finding the soft spots in zone coverage. Sneaky acceleration. He can beat you off the line with that, sneaky acceleration, and that creates, the catch space for him getting open, sometimes wide open. All right, you're probably looking at him at the slot position at the NFL level, but can play, various positions in an offense. So keep an eye on Jahan Dotson. All right, so look for him. Obviously, there's other wide receivers here that I haven't mentioned that I just don't think the Cowboys will be in play. That they'll probably go earlier, like Chris Olave, some of these other guys. There's a lot of guys that got banged up, in these championship games that are going to have medicals. The Alabama kids, you got 2 of them banged up. So I'm not really mentioning them, nor do I really want them coming off of ACL. So I'm not really considering them. All right, but those are a few wide receivers to keep an eye on. The next need for the Cowboys is probably going to be tight end. Do they bring back Dalton Schultz? If not, you may look at a complete revamp. I don't know that they're going to even bring back Blake Jarwin. So, maybe they're going to keep McEwen. Definitely they will. But you're going to have to add some others in the mix. So Jalen Weidemeyer, another good one. He could be the number 1 tight end coming out in this draft. I don't know if he'll be in the first round, but he could. All right. So keep an eye on Jalen Weidemeyer. The next one here. This is my guy right here. Man, this is my pet cat, Jeremy Ruckert. I wanted him last year. I thought he was going to come out of the draft. He went back to Ohio State, went back, made plays all over the place. He's your traditional wide tight end, gets down the field, great hands, catches everything that comes his way. And, you have to be a blocker there at Ohio State. So he's got blocking in his game as well. But, man, he is going to be in the same kind of mold of this new type of tight ends that really give that extra pop in your offense. Jeremy Ruckert, take a look at him in all his plays over his career. I would love to have him as a Dallas Cowboy, baby. Another need here for the Cowboys could be running back. All right, we'll see how everything looks here in the playoffs with Ezekiel Elliott. Where I talked about his knee, we'll go deep into in the offseason, but the Cowboys will have a lot of options. Isaiah Spiller is going to be your number 1 running back that could go in the first round, so I'm not considering him. I don't think the Cowboys will draft another running back in the first round regardless. So I'm looking at 2 of my pet cats, and one of them is going to be Rashad White. Arizona State, guys, you got to check this guy out. Comes in at 6'2", 210 pounds of muscle and speed. All right. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a DeMarco Murray, Eric Dickerson type of running style, but very athletic, can catch the ball, can run with power, knows how to find the end zone. Lots of production. That's what you want out of your running backs. Keep an eye on Rashad White there, all right? Kennedy Brooks is probably my favorite running back prospect, outside some of the top guys that I mentioned earlier. This guy is another one of these Oklahoma guys that has a lot of production and will be, somebody that has an impact at the NFL level. Instant starter. Has great balance, great vision. His balance is kind of like an Emmitt Smith. You remember Emmitt Smith in his prime, that balance and able to shift and move up front. Plays that type of way. You look at Kenny Brooks and you see a certain type of player. He has those NFL traits, ready to rock and roll at the next level. And it's somebody that the Cowboys could take a look at in a mid-rounder. I'm talking about, possibly a third round. I don't know that he'll make it to the fourth round, but if he's there and the Cowboys want to throw another body at the running back position, this is a guy that you'll want to add into the mix as the next up-and-coming running back for the Cowboys, because the Cowboys, at some point, they're going to start revamping that backfield, all right? They will, all right? All right, guys, those are some of my top prospects to watch, and let's just see how the Cowboys look here in the playoffs. If they look kind of weird here, if the pass rush isn't quite there, if we're looking thin at linebacker, I gave you some linebacker names, I gave you running back names, defenders. I want to see how we look on defense. So I gave you some defenders to keep an eye on. So just keep that in mind as you watch this video. As far as like how do the Cowboys look in the playoffs? Where are the Cowboys' needs? All right. So if you're watching this now, or if you're watching this on the replay, let me know what you guys think. Give me your prospects that you like. I'm always looking for new prospects. These are the guys that I've done deep dives on that I'm really confident the Cowboys will have interest in, guys. So continue to like, subscribe, and share. Helps out the channel immensely. Can't do this without you. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you for the next video.